We start off with the latest on the embattled Tigray region. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is headed to the front lines, he says, to direct the war effort. This comes 2 days after the Prime Minister announced his willingness to lead his country's soldiers on the front lines against the advancing rebel fighters. Taking to social media, Ahmed in a statement said, I'm quoting, "Let's meet at the war front. The time has come to lead the country with sacrifice." Meanwhile, state-affiliated media has said that the Deputy Prime Minister of Ethiopia will be taking charge of the routine government affairs in the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's absence. It's not only the Ethiopian Prime Minister who is on the front lines. Women in Ethiopia's capital, Addis Ababa, are also being asked to join the Home Guard in a bid to protect the city from the advancing Tigrayan soldiers. Apart from this, some of them have also started setting up roadblocks, further checking cars and pedestrians for weapons. Meanwhile, new recruits are joining the Ethiopian army to fight alongside the government forces in its conflict with troops from the Tigray region. The visuals on your screen showing how scores of recruits appeared at a ceremony in the capital Addis Ababa, where former commanders assured them of victory.
ስልጠና ግን እንገባለን አዙሩ ግን መሄዱ አያስፈራኝም ቢያንስ መከላከያ ለመቃቀም ስልጠና ወስደን ነው የምንገባው እንጂ ዝም ብለን አንገባም እንጂ መሄዱ አያስፈራኝም በገባም ችግር የለውም ካላ ሀገር ድረስ ማለት ነው
Apart from this, an aerial image published on Twitter by the spokesperson for the Ethiopian rebel group, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, allegedly shows Ethiopian prisoners of war coming out to express their solidarity with the people of Tigray. Meanwhile, Ethiopia has expelled 4 of the 6 Irish diplomats from the country because of Ireland's stance on the ongoing conflict. Ireland's foreign minister has issued a statement. He says, and I'm quoting, "I deeply regret this decision by the government of Ethiopia. Our engagement internationally on Ethiopia, including at the Security Council, has been consistent with the positions and statements made by the European Union." Ireland has had diplomatic presence in Ethiopia since 1994 and has provided a total of $185 million in government aid funding in the 5 years. Currently, Ireland has recommended against all travel to Ethiopia and further asked all Irish citizens to immediately leave the country. With us on the broadcast is our correspondent Coletta Banjohi, joining us from Addis Ababa. Coletta, let's first talk about this image that is doing the rounds, claiming to show these prisoners of war vowing their support to the Tigray Liberation Front. We earlier also saw those images of the TPLF parading these prisoners of war. Tell us more about what's going on and the limited information that we have at this point.
Yes, as you say, it's really limited information in terms of even the content that is coming out. We know the TPLF through its social media pages has released that and said that these are prisoners that have been captured who are pro-government and they are now denouncing the government. However, just a few minutes ago, we've seen the government, the federal government, through its social media handle, downplaying that video and saying that it is not a video, it does not represent their military guys, and it says that those are militia and fighters of the Tigray People's Liberation Front that have been dressed up in the military gear of the national government and of the federal government, and they are being used just to mislead people. So it's kind of discouraging people from believing that. At the end of the day, it's just a symbol that the conflict goes on. Issues of information becomes an issue. I mean, as we go on, verification of information becomes an issue because of little access into the area where the conflict is.
Right. In a show of force, the Ethiopian Prime Minister says he will be heading to the front lines to lead the soldiers on the front lines who have been fighting this war against the rebels. How close, according to the inputs that are available at this point, are the rebels really to the capital, Addis Ababa?
Well, the Prime Minister made the call on Monday, made the announcement on Monday, and on Tuesday he said that's when he would set off, and he did. According to him, he set off on Tuesday, and until now, I mean, the whole nation is waiting at least for some updates from him from the war front, where he says he is. Little or actually no information has come particularly about him, and people are still waiting. But on the issue of approach of the rebel forces, their threat, they say, still remains, and they have been saying that they have captured a city about 200 kilometers from the capital, Addis Ababa. It is yet to be verified because it's really hard to verify information now, and but the government, we know, has beefed up security within the capital city. You can feel it, and you can see some of these measures, and as well it is trying to assure people that even beyond the capital that the country is safe. And as the Prime Minister is still at the battlefront, people are waiting to see when will he come back, and will he come back with victory.
What is the messaging really behind the Prime Minister's move to head to the front lines and lead the war efforts from there?
If we gauge by the statement that he removed, at least on, he released at least on Monday before he went to the war front, as he says on Tuesday, he talked about courage, he talked about sacrifice. He said it's time for people to go beyond what they have to sacrifice for the country. He talked about redemption. I mean, his message talked about redemption, that it is time for people to put forth whatever efforts they have, whether you can go physically or in another kind, and participate in ending this conflict once and for all. A lot of confidence we saw from his statement, and kind of giving confidence also to the people. I mean, the citizens who support, who are pro-government in this conflict, say that they felt it, and we've seen some people saying that and pledging that they will follow him, as he had called, calling citizens to follow him to the battlefield. There are those who are saying they will register and they will go to the battlefront in order to end this all. So it was a message of encouragement, a message of hope for his own people, and also trying to show that the country is not dismantled as what has been going around, showing that the country is still strong.
Kolata Vanjohi with those details and inputs from Addis Ababa. Thanks very much for the moment. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.